So, what's kicking, my little chickens? Okay, so there's an actual reason why I greeted you that way today. I really should have just said hello, but today I was led to do a protection ceremony for my family, from me and my family. And I watch Red Fairy Tarot. I don't know if you guys watch her, but I highly recommend her. She does a lot of shorts and she has a lot of different kinds of spells and different things you can do for protection. She gives you a lot of really informative information on how to manifest things, you know. So she has a little ceremony on there, a magic spell that you can do for protection using an egg. And eggs actually came up in the reading yesterday that I did twice, and 2 cards. So but you take the egg and you open it, you empty it, you let it dry, and then you add certain things. And she tells you all about the different things that you put in there. You write people's names down. But the interesting thing is you seal it with candle wax, either a white candle or a black candle. And so now I have this cute little protection right here. So I guess that makes me a cool chick. I have my little egg and so anyway. Today, I have a message for you guys. I used the Black Cat Tarot cards, which are these. This is one of my favorite decks. It's kind of a unique deck. And I pulled the cards early this morning. And sometimes, you know, I don't always shuffle cards on camera and everything for you, because sometimes I actually like to do tarot cards, lay them out, and kind of let them marinate in my mind and see how things go during the day, and if there's any kind of synchronicities or certain messages that kind of flow or repeat themselves. And interestingly enough, I was cleaning out a drawer and these little cards that had fallen in there came out. And one of them was tenderness. And you see the black hat, right? And the angel. So I was like, this is definitely a sign that this message is, you know, relevant to you guys, and that it's very, God wants you to know, your creator wants you to know that your tenderness is very special, and that your spirit team and your angels and those around you really appreciate your tenderness, your kindness, your warmth. Your warmth really helps people who feel cold, stale, and stuck. And so also the other card that came out was resilience. So you're very resilient and you bounce right back because you keep a tender heart. And that's why you're able to not be broken by things that life throws at you. You are resilient. And your spirit team is just so happy because they tell me that when they see you and they see your light from the other side, they're just in awe of it. They're in awe of your spirit and your soul. That's how beautiful you are to the spirit world. And so the cards that came out that were my messages, the first thing was don't chase. Allow everything to come to you. Okay, be in a more receiving. In the past, I feel like you have not been in a receiving and a receptive mode. You've been more chasing and more, I feel like there's some control issues where you're trying to control things that you really shouldn't have been trying to control. And you feel like you have to always work so hard and struggle, but you don't. You need to allow things to come to you, right? Don't chase. Spirit wants you to be in a receptive mode. And they want you also to work on balancing your beauty and your beast mode. So really what that kind of means is like balancing yin and yang, or your male and female energy, because we all have male and female energy in us. But when those things get out of balance and you get too much in your, sorry, my camera went cray-cray. When you get too much in your feminine energy, or you get too much in your masculine energy, it can cause an imbalance. And the most important thing in life is balance, right? That's what we're all working for, because everything in moderation and balance. And it's very, very hard to get that balance. But they're asking you to work on balancing your male and your female energy. So if you feel like you're too much in the female energy, where you're being overly giving, or no, I'm sorry, you're wanting to receive too much and you're not being willing to give more, you're not being willing to work at things more and be a little bit more aggressive and more assertive. That's male energy, right? So if you're too much in your feminine energy, where you're being a little bit too helpless, you're not being aggressive enough, you're not being assertive, you're not setting boundaries very well, then they want you to try to balance that out. Or if you're being overly masculine, where you're a female who's just being overly independent, doesn't want any help, doesn't want to receive, then you will be blocked either way. You want to balance those. And it's hard to do, but just take an assessment of yourself and say, which energy am I in the most, and how is it affecting the relationships around me, right? So also, your spirit team knows that you have tears that fall. Sometimes they're happy tears, sometimes sad tears. Either way, they're releasing strong emotions and they're helping you to heal from the situations of imbalance in your life, okay? So, and then it's interesting because the other card said, go with the flow, allow things to come to you. So 2 cards said, allow things to come to you. Don't chase, allow things to come to you, right? And my son actually made this card. It's supposed to be a lion, but anyways. So we have a lot of fun making cards over here. It's just like, gets us out of our heads. So, and also it says, slow down and take your time. Pray for help and knowledge to flow with universal timing. So trust in universal timing, allow things to come, which means when you do that, you're more in your female energy, which is receptive. And by the way, when you're having an imbalance and you're overly masculine and you want to heal your masculine energy, that means you have to heal your father issues with your father, and how when you were a child, how you interacted with your father. So look into those things. And then if you are in too much feminine energy and that's imbalanced, then you need to heal issues with your mother. And as you heal energy with your mother, you will receive more and you will manifest more, and you'll be less blocked. And as you heal energy with your father, you'll be able to give more. You'll have more self-confidence, and you'll be able to create things and feel heard more. Okay? So look into those childhood things. Try to figure out what triggers you so you can heal those things in yourself. Okay, and then the next card, the first card that came out of tarot was the Star card. So I like that these cards are pretty interesting. They're a little different, but I love the cat, the black cat. So you are the star. You were the star. So, when I tell you what I'm reading, this can be past, present, or future, because there is really no time. Time is an illusion, and we're all on different timelines. So when you hear this, you're meant to hear this, but you have to put it where it resonates in your timeline of your life and how it applies to you. So you are the star. You were the star. People recognize you as the star. You're healing and you're nurturing. And, you can see how the water and the star is giving the light and lighting the way. You bring light in dark places, right? And you also quench people's thirst. You nurture and you give them, you refresh people. You're very refreshing. So I feel like you're in a relationship with someone. It could be love, it could be family, it could be business, whatever. You're in some type of relationship. And in the beginning, you really believed that this was Two of Cups, true love. You really felt like you guys were collaborating and working together, because also then we have Three of Wands. And you felt like you were collaborating, you guys were building and planning, when in reality, this person held a lot of secrets. And they were not. They were actually building elsewhere. And their mind wasn't really in this relationship. They weren't fully committed into this. And so this is the Hermit in reverse in this deck. And I feel like you started to wake up to this, and you were starting to go inside and starting to kind of realize that you were living a lie and that things weren't adding up, and that the people around you, the people that you were involved with in the situation, their actions weren't aligning with their words. And you were getting all these kind of like signs, and just like, you know, you're getting like bubble guts about certain things that were going on, where you're just like, oh, it doesn't feel right. And you knew it, but you didn't want to face it. You were still in that denial phase because you see you were in reverse. You didn't want to go within at that time. But I feel like it just got to the point where everything was so imbalanced in this relationship. I have notes here too, but things were just so imbalanced, and you were wanting to ascend. You were wanting to ascend, and this person just wasn't ascending with you, and they weren't growing. And you weren't even for sure really what was going on, because you guys, and this other card came up about having someone who believes that tradition and social acceptance are vital to being happy and successful. So this person, or these people that you're with, they're still very traditional and very, this is how things are done and this is how it should be. And as long as this marriage looks good, and as long as we send out our Christmas card, or, you know, your mother, as long as we go to afternoon tea and everybody there thinks that we have this wonderful relationship, then everything is hunky-dory. But in reality, there is a lot of healing, a lot of secrets being kept, a lot of tension, a lot of imbalance in this relationship. And you started recognizing it. You started following, got in this little boat, went with them with a little light, and started seeing and illuminating this dark emptiness that you were in. It was like a void. Being around this person or these people or in this relationship or in this job, it was just, you started seeing how dark and how just desolate you felt. And you started discovering devilish energy. And you started seeing that there were a lot of secrets. And that's what I'm saying, is because you really thought this was your Two of Cups. You thought this was a loving relationship. It was healthy. And then you were kind of like sticking your head in the sand. But I believe slowly but surely, the universe started giving you signs and making you see the light, make you see all the dark that was going on and the imbalance. And this person you started realizing was wearing a mask. You started finding out, you just started realizing that just the level of toxicity was so much more than you previously thought when you first met this person. I feel like this person was really good, or these people, or whoever this is, they're good at sugarcoating things and making things look good on the outside. It's kind of like when you put Band-Aid over cancer. You can't put Band-Aid over skin cancer, right? That's the kind of relationship you were in, the state of mind you were in, right? But you started ascending, and I feel like this relationship just started to make you feel really small. Your light was being dimmed, and these people don't allow you to shine the way you're meant to shine. And I think they took for granted for how healing you really are, how healing your energy is or was. You know, like I said, it could be past, present, or future. But, so then we have the Justice in reverse, which is just, you were not getting justice in this. You were putting in way more work. everything was out of balance. I feel like emotionally you were trying to, like, your reason and your reason and your emotions were out of whack because you were trying to be very logical, but in your heart and in your emotions and what you felt, you knew that this was not the kind of relationship that you were going to grow and thrive in. And that this person was kind of keeping you in bondage. And that's this Devil card. You felt like a slave. Somehow you felt just like you were in bondage. You felt trapped, for sure. And I feel like when you started going within, and you're still kind of going within, you're still doing this, but you started putting the puzzle pieces together and realizing that you needed to grow and that you had to ascend, right? So I really believe that there was a lot of sadness, and it was hard to let this go, let this situation go, because you were so convinced in the beginning that it was your Two of Cups, and it was just heartbreaking for you. And when you realize this double energy, and it's sad because, like, if you look at this Devil, look at how beautiful and seductive, and the mask, and just how, and all these people down here just enthralled. And I feel like you just have people around you looking at this relationship, looking at your life, looking at whoever this relationship was with. They were looking at it thinking it was perfect, and you guys were the perfect couple, or perfect mother and daughter, or the perfect relationship with your kids, whatever this is. But they didn't realize how toxic it really was, right? And so I feel like you have actual demons around you that wanted to keep you stuck and keep you in this bondage, and didn't really want your light to shine and let you be the star, right? But because you're connected to the cosmos, you were able to get messages from the divine. You see this person, he's staring at the stars, Ace of Cups. You started a new beginning for yourself. You took the risk to start a new beginning and to heal yourself. And if you haven't done this, you're going to do this. If you're still in this relationship, in this double energy, and you're still kind of starting to do the inward work, you're eventually going to connect with the cosmos. You're going to get divine answers. And I believe you're going to get a lot of messages at night for whatever reason. I think you're connected with the moon and the stars. So outside at night would be a good time to try to meditate. But if you haven't come out of this, you are going to choose to do that. If you have already come out of it, then it's because of your connection with the universe, right? And you were treated unfairly in this relationship, I believe. And it was hard because your common sense was telling you something is off. Something was off, and that this person wasn't truly being honest with you, that there were secrets being kept. But you ignored it because you wanted to kind of stay in denial, right? And it's something to do, because then I got Ten of Pentacles, and it's like part of you had to go inside and say, do I want to allow structure and the programming of the world and this is how it should be mentality keep me stuck here? Or am I willing to break free from traditions and things that I do just because society says I should do it? And you started overcoming that. And I think this card is amazing, the Nine of Pentacles, because if you see him, he's floating in the ocean. There's all these sharks around him. And he has his 9 of coins in his little bottle right there. His little bottle. Like messages in a bottle. But and you can see he's completely surrendered to the universe. He's just floating with it. He's not fighting it, because he realizes, and this is what you did, you realized that you had to surrender Surrender this relationship. Surrender things that were not helping you. And start just trusting. Even though you have sharks around you, even though you have demons around you trying to stop you, trying to keep you from moving on. And he's so trusting and so surrendered at this point. He's just allowing his money just to float with him and believing that the current's going to keep his money with him, right? His valuables. So you started surrendering and stopped fighting because this man realizes that if he tries to use force against all these sharks, they're just going to attack him. But if he just lays low and floats and is one with the flow of the ocean and the universe, maybe the sharks won't attack him. Maybe they'll just keep swimming around and they won't come after him. Whereas if they feel threatened because he's fighting against the current, then it could cause harm to him and harm to his pinnacles down here. So I feel like you realize that this situation was causing harm to you. And the more you fought to keep it and you fought to keep these people in your life that are not good for you, or you continue to fight to do this, it keeps you in more danger. You have danger of losing more money and losing your way and possibly being attacked spiritually, right? But you're not doing that. You're actually surrendering to God. You're letting go and you're letting God. And the other card that came up was the Seven of Wands. And so I believe you are standing your ground. You've had to fight off those demons. You've had to wrestle your own demons in your mind. And it's helped you to get to a place where you have more trust, you have more faith in yourself, and you stood your ground. And, you know, what's interesting about this is like this lion on here has this real scary mask, and he looks so scary and intimidating, but this guy is still standing his ground and it's kind of like, you faced your fears and you realize a lot of your fears were not even as scary as you thought. They were all illusions. They were masked. They were looking way bigger than they actually were. And you learned to overcome a lot of those fears, which were just holding you back. They were not helping you. And you just started moving more towards love and more away from fear. And Archangel Metatron is helping you with that. And he's a wonderful archangel who's more connected to the earth than some of the other angels. And, you know, you had gratitude and you planted seeds of inspiration, and you've been watering your seeds in your growth and your spiritual development by letting these things go that are toxic, moving into different direction, helping to overcome this double energy, and connecting with the universe, connecting with your spirit team. And I believe more of your spirit team is coming in. I believe more people who are aligning with your energy are going to come your way as you continue to choose to go in a different direction. And it says, slow down and take your time. Pray for help and knowledge to flow with universal timing, which is another card I pulled. This camera is just going cray-cray today. Well, I'll get jostled around a bit. But, and I believe you did slow down. I think there were a lot of distractions in the past, or you've been dealing with a lot of distractions, and slowing down and going within and shedding light on different areas of your life is helping you to allow more things to come to you. And I feel like as you, or when you left this relationship with this person that's unhealthy, or when you leave the relationship with this person, or whatever level, whatever timeline you're on, As you do that and heal yourself, you're going to manifest more. You're going to be able to manifest, and things are going to come to you more easily. You're not going to have to work so hard and struggle. You're just going to attract, because it's kind of like, you know how when the bugs are just drawn to that light and then it zaps them. That's you. Your light is going to attract everything into you, right? As you ascend and keep growing. So then I pulled some charms. And so it says, I got the crown. So the crown charm just tells me that like maybe your crown, I don't think your crown fell off, but your crown might have gotten a little lopsided, but you adjusted it, you put it back on, you got yourself up, you dusted yourself off, and you are on queen status or king status now. And you're ready to step into your power. And that's what's helping you. It's helping you to become a very important person. And you are a very important person on this planet. Because as you heal others. And you help bring balance. So the yin and the yang came out, which is really interesting because I was talking about balancing your beauty and beast mode. So when you're being beautiful, you're being delicate, that's wonderful. But also, then you got to get sweaty and crazy at the gym and in beast mode too. You have to balance that. You can't always just be delicate and beautiful, and you can't always just be beast mode wild. You have to balance the energy, the yin and the yang. And so that's what you're learning to do right now. And then this lion came out. And it's interesting because like this lion is smoking something he probably shouldn't be, because smoking's not good for us. But anyway, I feel like you were kind of in this energy where you're just kind of like smoking, whatever, drinking, maybe indulging in things, kind of devilish energy. And then you see this little, I think this thing is what do you call those things? Sloth? I think it's a sloth. Anyway, whatever it is, you see it's like meditating and it's like praying and getting messages. So you went kind of from this messy smoking, partying to this. And I feel like the people that you were involved with who were in this double energy that you're trying to move away from are kind of still in this energy. But you're learning to be more in a healthy, meditative, yoga, relaxation. You see, this person is allowing things to come to them. They're attracting, they're manifesting. They probably did a protective egg spell. And this lion looks like it's just ready to like attack and go after, and feels like it has to be aggressive and hunt. But you're changing, so you're shifting your energy and you're balancing. This is yin and yang, right? And so I feel like this has been a very slow process because the dinosaur came out. Or maybe you're old like a dinosaur. No, I don't think you are. I'm just kidding. But I feel like this is a slow process, but be patient because, you know, and also because I believe this dinosaur right here is vegetarian. What do they call that when they only eat plants? I know, I can't think of the word of it. But so I think this also is a message for you to eat more plant-based foods. I'm not saying be vegetarian, but I'm saying just focus on eating more plant-based foods, because this dinosaur was, what is it? There's carnivorous is like meat. I can't think of the vegetable one. But anyway, this one doesn't eat meat. It eats all plants. So I think it's saying cut down on the meats and eat more plant-based food. And I think that's going to help you to raise your vibration. And because this is pink, and pink kind of represents healing your heart, and kind of like pink amethyst, and healing your love life, and just healing how you share your love and how you express your love and who you share your love with, and putting boundaries and just making it healthy. And as you eat more plant-based foods, it's going to help all of that to balance out, okay, for you. But it's going to take time. It's a slow process. And even if you just eat one extra vegetable a day, just take baby steps. You don't have to go all vegan or something, but if you can just add maybe 1 meal a day or 1 meal a week that's all vegetarian, or add more salads, add fresh things that are plant-based, a little bit more tofu, things like that to help lift your vibration. And you sailed away. You're sailing away from negativity. You're sailing away from the things that are holding you back, the people, and you're moving to calmer waters. And I need space. So I feel like there are people in your life that you're needing space from right now, or that you have given space to, because this is part of your ascension process, is having space away from people who are not for your highest good. And this also is interesting because it's kind of like the little alien and all this space stuff. So like I said in this card, you're connected to the cosmos, and you're connected to the moon, the stars, the planets, which help you. If you go out and meditate, it'll give you more growth spiritually. So, and the other last thing was, it says, and it's interesting because I told y'all about surrendering, and then this cat here, surrendering in the ocean. And then this card came out, surrender all those ideas about being what you are not and become what you really are. So don't worry about what you are not. Surrender what you don't think, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not clean enough, I'm not organized enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not curvy enough, or whatever. I'm not smart enough, I'm not. And start thinking about, as you let those things go and you stop focusing on what you are not, you will become what you are supposed to be, right? When you surrender to your nature and to what you really are, you no longer suffer. When you surrender to the real you, you surrender to life and you surrender to God. So that's what this is about. This is about you surrendering to the real you. It's kind of like Eminem, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. So the universe wants the real you to please stand up. They want you to show the world who you are, your creative, unique, authentic way that you show up in the world. It's special. It doesn't matter what you do. But when you're being you and you're surrendering to God, everything is going to come to you easily. You're going to manifest things. You're going to be protected. You're going to feel pink healing energy surrounding you and making you the best that you can be. And that was the message I got from this little card session. I hope you guys liked it, and go do the egg protection thing. It's so fun. Red Fairy Tarot, I really like her. All right, I love you guys. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.